his MRI show? How's he doing?
They'll be on a day-to-day basis up until Vancouver, and then, obviously the pressure's off after that. They were out here jogging around a little bit, him and JP, so we'll see. Closer to game time, I'll let you guys know, but no significant injury in the MRI.
And then JP
Same.
around as well?
Same.
Okay.
Same. Look, I don't need to test them. Even if it's a day of game fitness test, we'll do that, and then get them in the lineup if they're ready to go.
What about Jimmy Madronda? How's he doing?
He's okay. He's doing a little better. He completed about 3/4 of a full training today, so we'll try and push him to get ready as well.
Switching subjects, do you happen to catch Sporting KC Austin last night? Any thoughts on that result?
Well, I keep trying to tell you guys, I say this till I'm blue in the face, MLS is a hard league. I mean, is it a hard league? If I'm looking at Sporting Kansas City and looking at inward amongst at ourselves, I mean, both teams have had chances to kind of put this to bed already, and we haven't done it. And I appreciate what Peter said at halftime. His team didn't perform, and sometimes that happens. It's pro sports. So now it comes down to decision day, and we got to make sure that our teams perform.
Christian said it didn't change anything, but does it change anything for you with the mentality knowing a win clinches the number one seed?
Number one would be nice. I think it would be a just reward for the amount of adversity, the work that these guys have put in throughout the full year. But, first or second doesn't really matter. I just want the team to play well the last game of the season. That's more important.
You had mentioned a little bit of the struggle that Nuba was having on the field. Is he fine now?
He's fine. He completed training, 100%.
Defensively, it seems that you guys have. Would you say that defensively has been your biggest struggle through these last five?
No, I wouldn't say that. It's a team sport. I mean, if the team scores 4 goals and we give up 3, we're still talking about a win and 3 points, and everybody's excited about how many goals we've been scoring, and you kind of forget about the 3 goals you might have taken. So I think it's a combination of things. Certainly the goals that we've taken, if it's a trend or if it's one certain player that keeps making the same mistakes, then it's easy to kind of fix. But it's kind of been a little plethora of everything in each game. So I wouldn't classify that as only the defending, again, because every time we've scored first or we've scored an early goal, we've usually had success.
So what have you been using this time then to kind of focus on to help right this?
We actually focused today on our attacking movements, Jada. So that's a good question about how we break teams down and how we score more goals. That was today's training session.
Christian mentioned that he could see the difference with Jordan out there, how teams, how big Galaxy game went, and
he does a couple of things. So when Jordan sprints down the field to try and get in behind, and even if he doesn't get the ball, it still stretches the defense. And so that's what's required. Brad did it earlier in the year. Jimmy Madranda's capable of it. But when it's Jordan out there on that left side, I think it balances the team. I think we get a lot of attacking through Christian and Alex, on that right-hand side. We get the ball into our prime assist zone. But we've been struggling to kind of generate a lot of chances from that left-hand side. So putting Jordan there, putting Jordan up front, and he kind of shifts over to the left because that's where he likes to play, will give us a little more balanced team, which will be important so teams can't just, shut down Christian and Alex on this side. They have to actually worry about that side as well.
what has it been like? Sorry, I was just curious what it's been like to reincorporate these players like Nico Ladero when he comes back and he's out, and then Jordan Morris coming back and star players. But how was it as a coach trying to get them to kind of play their A game?
Well, it's hard because you guys have to mute the expectations a little bit. Nico hasn't really played regularly all year, and neither has Jordan. So there's going to be a little bit of rust there. So we're trying to use this last game to kind of shake some of the rust off. Then we'll have a 3-week block of training to try and get a little more rust off, and then see if we can't get something that first playoff game.
I want to Colombia's national team. Yeimar.
Yep, yep.
What was your reaction to that?
Yeah,
Is that
put it-
something when you started? to
Put a
see-
smile on my face.
Yeah.
It just shows that the level of MLS is growing. When you have 3 center backs that are all playing for their national teams, respective national teams, it's pretty good. And for Yeimar to be called in at this stage of his career certainly shows that he's been playing at a high level.
Did you start the season thinking that that would be a possibility, or
No.
even when you signed it?
No.
Why?
No. Well, because he hadn't been in his national team's picture, when we signed him. So, again, it's testament to the work he's done out here. Testament to all the work Jimmy Traore did earlier in the year to get him to play at a high level, and then he gets recognized for his play. So, kudos to those two.
Kind of a softball, but can you talk a little bit about what he does bring when he's at his best? What do you
Yeimar?
like about it? Yeah, physically.
Tenacity, wins all his headers, intercepts a lot of passes. I know you guys like that stat. Good 1v1 out in the wing channels, because we do play with, when Alex pushes higher up the field, he's got to cover that. A lot of center backs don't want to cover that or can't cover that. So, there's a lot of positives there.
Any other questions?
Just you talked a little bit about this earlier, but decision day, 9 of the 13 games have some sort of playoff implications. Just kind of your thoughts on, as a fan,
Love it.
looking
Love
forward to it, even though if you won't be able to obviously watch
Love
the
it.
Western games.
Love it. I don't know what we're going to do it with our scoreboard. I'm sure the scoreboard will, keep the scores updated. A little birdie might fly into my ear and give me some scores. You never know. But yeah, it's exciting. The games on Tuesday meant something. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, last Sunday. It's pretty cool.
How does that, since you kind of mentioned about getting some notifications of the scores, does that impact what you're doing on the field in real time? Do you really have the time to kind of make
Not
those
necessarily.
adjustments?
Not necessarily. Look, if you're on the right side of a score line and you can lock a game down, maybe you do that anyway. If you're need of a goal, you're probably going to do the same thing anyway, because you need the goal anyway. So, there's a little bit there. It might have a minuscule effect, but we want to win the game. And again, Mickey, I need the team to play well. If we play up to our potential, we'll get a good result.
And speaking of the game, just Vancouver, what are your thoughts on what they did? They got a result down in LA.
Vanny's done great since he's been there. Mark started him off well. They're playing with a high degree of confidence. So credit to them.
Just procedure-wise, when you guys do get turned into getting ready for the playoffs, and you said knocking the rust off, is there any process that's different? Like, would you bring in a team or scrimmage or anything like that?
Well, we have
Since you do have the
Defiance in
time?
our backyard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a possibility. I guess
Yeah.
I'm asking curiosity-wise.
Yeah, I can tell you. Yeah, we'll have training games amongst ourselves and with the Defiance team.
You mentioned Defiance there. This season came to an end, but it's one of the better seasons here in recent memory. From what you've seen from them and the job that Wade's done this year, what
Wade's done great. Reinstalled a good mentality into the group. They fell short a little bit, but wasn't for a lack of trying or effort or commitment. So all positives on that front. Wade did a great job. Mikey, Josh Ford, all those guys, they did a great job.